Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome in if you're new. I'm Rachie Sims, and today's video is a little bit different but a lot of fun. I'm answering your questions about rotational gameplay and starting a forever world save. I know a lot of you are curious about how I build a realistic living town over time, so whether you're brand new to rotational gameplay or deep in the chaos like me, I hope this gives you some ideas and inspiration for your own saves. Let's jump into the questions. So, starting with the first question, I don't have the business and hobbies pack yet. How can I run a business without this pack? Good question. So I think in my gameplay guide, I originally have that you do need this pack as a requirement, but you actually don't if you play with mods. So let me share a couple of mods that you can use to play this game style. So the first mod is by Ravishing, and it is the Celebration Retail System. So this lets you add the retail system to base game. And the description reads, the Celebration Retail System gives you full control of selling, buying, and creating your very own store. Create a store on any lot, set any object for sale, adjust prices, earn simoleons, and so much more. You can actively manage a store to earn simoleons or set up an unowned lot for your sim to travel to as they please. Please read the details below for more information. And I will let you guys read the details here below. This is a mod that I have used in the past before, so I definitely recommend it. Another mod that you can also use is the Live in Business mod by Little Miss Sam. This mod adds lot traits to the game, which lets you run businesses at home. So I used this mod heavily before the business and hobbies pack came out. So I definitely recommend this mod. You can make a live-in cafe with it, but you will need to get together EP. You can do a live-in bar. I believe that one's base game. You can do a live-in club, a live-in daycare, a live-in gym, a live-in pet daycare. That one you will need the cats and dogs EP. A live-in vet clinic, you need the cats and dogs EP for that one as well. And then it has recommended mods too that you can add on, as well as optional add-ons that you can add on here too as well. But I will definitely link both of these mods in the description of this video. I've used both of these before. I recommend them for those that don't have the business and hobbies pack. The next question, do I need packs to do this properly? So I kind of answered this in the last question, but I do recommend that you use the business and hobbies packs. I wrote the gameplay guide around it, but you can use mods, the mods that I just mentioned, to play this way without those packs. But technically you can play it base game if you get those mods. But if you're playing on console or something where you can't use mods at all, definitely you will need the business and hobbies pack. Or if you don't have that pack, get the retail pack and you can play it with that. That is how I used to play rotationally before the business and hobbies pack came out. I just used the get to work retail system. So you will need one of those packs to play this way. Next question, can you create a guide for those of us who don't use mods? So I won't be creating a separate guide for those of you guys who don't use mods, but I have updated and am updating the gameplay guide so that those that do not use mods can play this challenge as well. But the only caveat to that is you can't play it with just base game. You have to at least have the business and hobbies pack. So here is my gameplay guide for playing rotationally, and I will show you the things I have added to this guide for those who are playing without mods. All right, so if we go to the utility and service unlock section, you will see that I do recommend some mods for that section. So in the how to unlock area, I have added how to play this way without mods. So to unlock electricity for those playing without mods, then you will need to use the off the grid lot trait until you unlock electricity and water. Garbage collection, I didn't write anything here, but you just wouldn't add garbage cans to your homes until you unlock that as well. So for cable TV, internet, and cell phones, for those playing without mods, you cannot have TVs or computers in your homes until those are unlocked. And that is how you would play without that. And then cell phones, it works kind of how I'm doing it now. Don't make any calls. You will get incoming calls, and I just treat those like notes. So that's how you would do that. So for the fire station to be unlocked, for that one, I do suggest an active career if you're using mods. So if you are not using mods, you would cheat the Sims funds so they can purchase the fire station lot as a small business. And then the town would still buy that lot. So what I would do is you would still save up the money. The mayor would deduct the money from the town treasury. So you would add however much money that the fire station costs so that your sim can purchase that. So for banking services, if you're playing without mods, you do not need to add this lot to your town. You can just use the game's in-game ask for loan system. That does require you to have a high charisma skill, so you would have to get your Sims to that skill level to be able to ask people for loan. So that's what I would use if you aren't playing with mods. I would just use that. If we move on to the tax system, so that is where I heavily use a mod. I currently heavily use the SMB Bills mod for that, but you can do this without using that mod. So how the tax system works if you are not using mods, then you would still collect 10% taxes on your sim when they own a business. And then there is also an in-game interest system. So if you have the fabulously wealthy aspiration, you will get a notification that your sim has earned interest, and you will still add that to your tracker like normal. So those two areas are where I heavily use mods in my gameplay. For taxes and then utilities. So that is where you will need to do things a little bit differently, but you can still make it work without mods. So if you have any other questions about playing this way without mods, just feel free to drop them down below. Which mods do you use for rotational gameplay? That's a good question. I use a lot of mods. So let me show you some of my favorite mods, my essential mods for rotational gameplay. MC Command Center is one of those essential mods that I use in my gameplay. There are two things that I use. I use the regular MC Command Center, and then I use MC Woohoo. So if you watch my gameplay, you will see the Sims will autonomously woohoo, and that's where I use the MC Woohoo option and MC Command Center. So let me go in game and show you guys some of the things that you can do with MC Command Center. So here I am in game in my off camera forever world, and I am going to show you how to use MC Command Center to make autonomous woohoo happen. So if you go here, you go to MC Command Center, you will get MC Woohoo. If you click on other settings, you will have autonomous woohoo, and you see I have it enabled. You would just have that enabled to have autonomous woohoo in your game. So MC Command Center does a whole lot. Another thing that I commonly use for MC Command Center for rotational gameplay that is a must is pausing pregnancy. So I'm going to make this sim pregnant real quick. So as you can see, the sim is pregnant. So if I come here and I click on her and I click MC Command Center, if I go down to MC Pregnancy, you'll see that she is pregnant with one female baby. She's in the second trimester. It tells you who the father is. Right here, the partner is Kennedy Cox. And you could do some different things here. You can end the pregnancy. You can change the partner to somebody else. You can pause pregnancy. Now, this is what I use the most to pause the pregnancy in between rounds. If you aren't playing with mods and your sim gets pregnant, if you want to see the birth of the baby, you're going to have to play them until they give birth. Otherwise, if you go to another household and play them, that sim will give birth to the baby. Another mod I use all the time is UI cheats, and you could do so much in game with UI cheats. So one of your gameplay goals if you're playing this rotational gameplay style is to reach a level 5 business. And as you can see here, her business is 4 stars. So once she reaches 5 stars, she's going to receive $25,000 grant. So let's say here, I'll cheat it now. I'm not going to save this, guys. But let's say she just reached her 5-star business. And that was something I did with UI cheats. You can cheat the stars on here. So if you for gameplay purposes, if you had a 5-star business and you wanted to demote them down a rank, you could do that. You could just right clicking on it. That's something you can do. Or I can make her a 5-star business again. But a way that I use it mostly is to increase the funds. So I'm going to give her 25,000 simoleons extra. And then you just add the simoleons here and you set it. And so you see she just earned 25 simoleons that she got because her business was 5 stars. You could decrease their funds too as well. You just right click down here and then you would put the amount that you want to change the household funds to and click it here. Another cool thing that you can do is you can change the weather. So I've been doing this a lot lately in my Forever World gameplay. I keep changing the weather because it's been driving me crazy. So if you right click down here, you can change the current weather. So sometimes it's raining and my Sims are not cooperating and I just need to change the weather. So I do that with this mod. So right now it's not raining. I can make it rain. So let me go ahead and do that. Change it to heavy rain. And it takes a few minutes to kick in. But as you can see now, it's raining. And I haven't updated my game yet, so it's raining indoors. But that's all right. But so those are some of the things that you can do with UI cheats. You can do more with it as well. But those are kind of my like 2 essential features I feel like for playing this way. There is some business and hobby things that I have too as well. Let me show you guys that. For those that are playing with the business and hobbies expansion pack, there are some mods that you are definitely going to want to get by Lunar Brittany, and let me kind of show you some of the mods. So one of them is the higher business activity limit, and I will show you this in game. Another one is you can purchase clothing at a small business, which is really great. More small business employees, you definitely want that as well. And I think that is it. So let me go in game and show you what I'm talking about. So here we are in game with the owner of our mall. And I am going to go ahead and open the mall. So now the mall is open. Some of the mods that I mentioned are more employees. So if I click here on manage employees, then you will see that I have 5 employees and not 3 employees, which is the standard that comes with the pack. So that was one of the mods where you can have more employees. And I highly recommend this mod, especially if you're trying to run something like a mall. You definitely want more employees. And you'll see they'll spawn and start going to work. So if we go into the small business settings, you will see that I have more business activities they can do. So that was another mod by Lunar Brittany. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 activities that the customers can do when they come here, which makes something like running a mall way easier. You guys definitely want to get these if you're going to try to have a mall in your save. It definitely makes running it way easier. So if we go over here to our clothing store H&M in our game, then you will see that we have mannequins in store, and for some reason the Sims team did not allow the retail system that you have from Get to Work, the mannequins in there, to work with the small business feature. But Lunar Brittany saved the day again, and so you can have your customers come in and they can actually try on and purchase outfits now with her mod. So that is another option too if you want to own a clothing store. If you want to set up a clothing store and have your Sims come there and shop, then they can do that. And this also works too for your other playable Sims that you're playing with, they can come to this store and buy the outfits too, which is definitely great. We definitely want that. We like realistic gameplay on this channel, so we definitely want our Sims to be able to come and do some shopping at the mall like you would do in real life. So here we have a customer, and they are sitting in the stylish chair, and it looks like they are gonna get a new haircut, so that's great. So we have Sims coming in and autonomously getting new haircuts too, which is great. And you can see her hair change right there. I don't know why this stylist is so pissed, but she is. But so that's some of the cool things that you can do with this mod. And then the Sim that we just gave a makeover to, she just bought this outfit. So she purchased it for 262 simoleons. And then we could come over here as the owner. Marcus just purchased an outfit too. But we can come over here as an owner, and we can dress the mannequin back up into their outfit that they were in. So we get to work functionality. We actually get the Sims trying on clothes and buying them, and they may or may not buy the outfit that they try on too. It just depends. So here, Isabella is able to successfully restock the outfit. Before, if you didn't have this mod, they weren't able to do that. So that's really great. Another mod that you will want to include as well is the Club and Business Activity Expanded mod by Rex. So this mod lets you add so many more activities to not only your small businesses, but the clubs as well. So if you click here on this website, you will get a spreadsheet list of all the different activities that you can do in game, in businesses, and in clubs. So I just wanted to show you guys that real quick too as well. So the next mod I'm going to talk about is the Go to School mod by Zerbo. So we should be getting a pop-up around 8 o'clock asking us to go to school. So here's the pop-up. It's time for Peyton to disappear into the magical world of elementary school. Would you care to follow her, or is Peyton destined to go alone? So if we click send alone, it'll act like it normally does. It'll be a rabbit hole, go to school day. But if we join her, then we get to follow her to elementary school. So I'm going to click join. So here is Peyton. Here she is at school. And you'll see over here, we will have something that's similar to what you see with the high school pack, if you guys have that. But it'll say morning free time in. So the morning she has free to herself. And then we'll just do the things that it's just we do. Like it says to play on the monkey bars. So let's go ahead and do that. And then once she plays on the monkey bars, it'll kind of check that off and we'll get more options. Y'all know how this works over here. Yep, and then it checks off. So let's go ahead, and now it says socialize with anyone. And I think the school, they will start autonomously moving to the classroom pretty soon. But let's see if we could talk to this kid right here. Let's give him a friendly introduction. And he's about to play on the monkey bar, so he's probably not the best bet. Okay, so as you see, it's now about 30 minutes before class starts, so they're going to go ahead and walk to the class. And then all the kids will autonomously sit at their desks like good students. And sometimes the teacher shows up and sometimes the teacher does not. So hopefully the teacher shows up today, we will see. But the kids will sit there regardless. But you know, sometimes stuff bugs, and I really do need to update all my mods too, so... Yep, so class has started now. The teacher did not spawn here like they were supposed to. Where is the teacher? She's sitting here instead of teaching. Of course. So, but yeah, the students will be listening and learning like they are supposed to do. But yeah, but this is fun. This is fun to watch. Ooh, I really need to fix this child. So I do age up children. Which I do need to talk about that too. So I will be sure to talk about that. I do age up the townie children too. So kind of the kids kind of grow up with the same people. So I will talk about that too. But yeah, so this is what a day at elementary school looks like. If you play with high school years, it's very similar, but it's with the elementary school age children now, which is really cool. I love it. So our next question is, how do you prevent random townies from spawning in your rotational neighborhood? I constantly have to manually go in and delete the randomly generated households that pop up in my game, even when I have all the neighborhood stories turned off. Yep. So to do this, I do use mods. If you don't use mods, you are going to have to go in and delete townies or give them makeovers. But if you do use mods, then you are going to want to use MC Command Center to stop this. So let me go into game and show you guys how to do that. All right, guys, so I'm back in my game. I'm back at the Mercer household. So I'm just going to click on the computer here and show you guys what you need to do. So you're going to click on the computer and then click on MC Command Center. And then you are going to go down to MC Population. So you're going to go to Populating Settings. And then you are going to scroll down to Import Tray Settings. This will import the Sims you have that you have saved in your gallery, and it will import them into the game. So you are going to click a couple of things. You're going to click on import tray sim percent. So I currently have mine to 100% so that no townies come in at all. No townies should be generating at all. So, and I typically leave this between 95 and 100%. It just depends. If I'm starting to get, I usually like to leave it at 95%, but if I'm starting to get too many townies, then I'll switch it back to 100. But if you do it, then I suggest you do have it at 95%, because some townies, like I know, for example, the burglar, if you want to play with the EA burglar, if you have it at 100%, it will import one of the sims that you have from your gallery. So I recommend 95%. I think I switched it to 100% because my new save was generating too many townies for that one. But once you have your save more well established, then you can definitely turn it to 100. So the import trace sim percent, that is one thing that you want to change to. So I'm going to click OK. And then the other thing you want to do is limit import by tags here. And then you want to check to only include tags. So if you don't have that checked, then I think it'll import everything from your gallery. So you want to do only tags because you know you have some sims that you have saved that you don't want to come into your game as townies. That's why you want to click only include tags. And the tag that you need, I'm going to go to the gallery and show you guys. All right, guys, so you're going to click on the gallery and then you're going to click to my library to get to all the sims that you have saved in your game. And I'm going to open up one of these sims that I have. And you'll see the tag that I have here is MCC include. That is the tag that you want to have for any sim that you want to appear in your game as a townie. You have to include this tag. That way, some of the other sims that you have saved that are special that you don't want as townies that you already have in your game, they won't come into your game as townies. So make sure that you have MCC include here. The hashtag MCC include, make sure you have that to get townies spawning in your game that are the townies you want. You've given them makeovers, you've added, you know, lashes, nails, all that stuff, cute clothes, and then you will get cute townies, and then you won't get the ugly randomly generated townies. No offense to them, but yeah. Next question, can you turn your tracker into a Notion tracker? All right, guys. So I am not that great with Notion. I haven't built a like a tracker in Notion from scratch before. So this is where I'm asking you guys to come in and help out. If anybody is great at using Notion and would like to turn our Excel sheet spreadsheet tracker into a Notion template, we will be forever grateful. So if anybody can do that, just leave me a comment, let me know. We would be super grateful. So I'm asking you guys too. I can try to do this myself, but it'll probably take me months to do because I haven't done it before. So yeah, so I'd be happy to do this if I knew how, but I don't. So that's where I'm asking you guys to come in. If you guys can help, if you know how to do this, let us know. Thank you. What world do we start in is the next question. So you can start in whatever world that you would like. I do have some suggested starting worlds that I have added in the gameplay guide. So I just picked Willow Creek personally because I could kind of make it whatever I want. To me, it gave Midwestern vibes. It could be a Midwestern small town, which is kind of like what I know. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. But you can start in any world that you want. But I do have some suggested worlds that you can start in. Let me show you. Here we are in my gameplay guide, and I do have some suggested starting worlds that you could start in. You can start in Willow Creek, Oasis Springs, Newcrest, San Myshuno, Brenton Bay, Del Sol Valley, Strangerville, Evergreen Harbor, Moonwood Mills, San Sequoia, Chestnut Ridge, and Copperdale. And those I just picked because those are kind of like American starting worlds. But you can start wherever you want. If you are like a European simmer, you might not want to start in one of these worlds. You might want to start on Hanford on Bagley, something like that. So it's up to you. But those are some suggestions to give you some ideas of where to start. Next question. How do you decide what businesses to bring to the town next? So, how I decide is I just kind of pick what I want for my town next. If there's certain things that I want to bring to the town, like I want cell phones, I want computers, stuff like that, then I would bring an electronics store next. If I wanted my Sims to be able to go on dates and stuff like that, I might pick a restaurant next. It's kind of up to you, whatever you want. You are basically the city planner for the town. So you kind of decide what comes to the town next. That's up to you. But yeah, but those are some ideas kind of to get you started to decide what to bring to the town next. And then as far as community lots, those would be decided by the mayor. So once your town starts to grow and you guys start having children and they start getting a little older, you might want to have a park. That might be the next lot that you want to bring. If you start having a lot of high school age kids or kids about to turn high school age, then maybe you want a high school. That might be what you want to do, or even an elementary school. It's up to you. You are the city planner for this town, so you decide what lots to bring to the town. How do I open an electronics store with the business and hobbies pack? So honestly, an electronics store with the business and hobbies pack is a little more difficult than some of the other stores. So let me go in and show you guys how to run one. All right, guys, so here I am at my town's electronics store, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So you want to have electronic items that will slot to shelves. So things like TVs aren't going to slot to shelves. Most computers in the game aren't going to slot to shelves. But over here on this shelf, I have all items from Little Simsy's Cozy Gamer Kit. These are great. They're really great electronics that you can sell, and they slot to shelves, which is perfect. So I want to show you guys that. I recommend this kit to do a electronic store. It just makes it easier. And then some of the other items I sell are music systems. Those are easy to slot to a shelf. Console games, those are easy. I have some CC video game systems as well as the regular in-game video game system. And then video video games too here from Little Simsy's kit too as well. And then I just have some miscellaneous parts up here as well because I would think they would have like parts too as well. So electronic parts like when you repair TVs and stuff like that would be good. I think I just have plumbing parts just because the Sims get so many of those parts. It's just easy. But then let me show you over here. So over here I have what is this called again? The fabricator. I can never remember what this thing is called, which is kind of like basically like a big 3D printing machine in the game, right? So this fabricator, I also have that the sim will make things on the fabricator while their electronic store is open. So that's another way to make money. So you make the item and then you sell it. And then also I just started doing fabrication classes as well. And that's another great way to make money as well for an electronics store. And then my plan for my shop is once it hits 5 stars, I'm going to change it to a retail store, but I want him to go ahead and get it to 5 stars first. So once it hits 5 stars, I'm going to change it to the retail store that comes with the get to work pack. And then they'll be able to sell TVs and stuff like that. It's a little more work, but honestly, like I want to sell like the TVs, computers, and stuff like that because I want my Sims to be able to come here and buy those things. They don't really have a lot of things they can buy here right now, but I want them to actually use the store and come here and buy things. So that is currently how I have my electronics store set up. So hopefully that fills in a lot of the blanks for you. Next question. Can you expand more on the topic of income and expenses to the city budget? I would like to hear exactly what can possibly be included in one and the other in order to keep transparent accounting. Yes. Okay. So I just added a new tab to the spreadsheet. So let me show that to you. All right. So here is the new tab I added to the spreadsheet. So I have added some fees and taxes. So in my tax video recently, I went over some of these, like anytime there's an empty lot fee, then the buyer has to pay that as a tax to the city. So for example, in Willow Creek, the lot Potter's Splay is empty, and if someone purchased that lot, they would have to pay 2,500 simoleons to the city for that. The small business registration fee, that's 750 simoleons that you need to open a small business, that goes to the city. And this is a part of the business and hobbies pack. Also part of the business and hobbies pack is a business audit tax. And this is a pop-up that happens when you're playing as a small business. Sometimes you will get this pop-up, you will get audited, and you'll have to pay 4,500 simoleons. So that cost would go to the city. Another thing is property taxes. So I do use a mod, the S&B Bills mod, to do this in my game. And then this is paid. I don't remember if it's like every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, something along those lines. But you will get that with your other bills and you will have to pay property taxes. Now, I understand there's some of you guys playing this that do not use mods. So I have added this section here, and that's white. And you will see that I have this little thing over here that tells you what is required. Everything that's green, everything that's white is required if not using mods. And then everything that is yellow is optional. Okay, but back to this. So property taxes, I have basically kind of calculated how much property taxes that you would pay. So if you own a small house that's 20,000 simoleons, that's under 20,000 simoleons, that you would pay $200 a week in property taxes. If you have a medium house that's worth 20,000 to 49,000, you would pay 500 a week in taxes. If you have a large home that's between 50,000 and 99,000, you would pay 1,000 a week. And if you have an extra large home over 100,000 simoleons, then you would pay 2,500 a week. And then you would pay this every season, because I think that would be the easiest thing to keep track of if you don't use mods. So that is how you would do property taxes if you did not have mods. And then I have these other optional things that you could add to your game or not. I currently don't use any of these, but this is to give you guys ideas that you can incorporate it in your game if you'd like, or not if you don't. It just depends how much you want to use that tax system in your game. If you're really excited about taxes and really want your Sims to suffer, then you could do this. Or if you just wanted to build your city quicker, you can use this too to get some more funds. But okay, so there would be a rental unit tax. So you can make your Sims that own apartment buildings, anything that's a rental unit, they would pay 10% of their earnings, just like an income. They would pay that per round. A restaurant license fee. So if they open a restaurant, if you have dine out and you are using that pack and opening a restaurant, then you would pay 750 simoleons to start that. If you have get to work and you're using the retail system, you would pay that 750 simoleons, like we do with the small businesses, you would pay that for a retail business. If you need to rezone a lot, so if a lot has a house on it, it's zoned already as residential, and you want to convert that house into a business, then you would pay 750 simoleons to turn that into a business lot or commercial lot, as it's called in real life. A luxury tax. So if your Sims are buying really extravagant things like TVs, things like that, there are 3,000 simoleons or more, then 10% of that item costs they would pay to the city. So, example, if they bought a TV for 4,000 simoleons, a 10% luxury tax on that would be 400, and you add that to the town's treasury. Construction permits. So you could do this. So anytime you do any kind of addition to your property, if you bulldoze a property, anything like that, then you would need a construction permit of 500 simoleons. I have a home buyer's tax. So if you buy a lot that already has a house built on it, that sim pays 500. That sim pays 1,000 simoleons in taxes. Marriage license. If you have two Sims get married, they need a license to do that, and that's 500 simoleons. Birth registration. Anytime someone has a child, they need to pay that 500 simoleon birth registration. And this is where you can maybe incorporate adoption in there, right? If you have someone who gives birth to a child, they don't have the 500 simoleons, then maybe their child gets taken away and put into the orphanage. You can maybe add that into your gameplay. That's an idea. It's up to you. Death tax. So anytime a sim dies, this is an idea that you guys can do. They would need to pay 20% of their home and business value. So if they own the house, if they own a business, whatever that is valued, that lot is valued at, you would take 20% of that and have to pay that as taxes to the city. The last thing is a late fee. So if any of the above things the sim pays late, they don't pay it on time, you can charge a 5% tax on whatever that cost is that they owe the city. They would have to pay that each round until they actually pay it. So you can do that. So those are some other ideas as well. If you guys have any more suggestions on things that you can add to this part of the tracker, be sure to leave a comment below and I will get that added. But I think this will give you a lot more ideas if you really want to uh, work with the tax system a lot more, then this gives you a lot more ideas. So that is some of the ways that the town can earn funds through taxes and different miscellaneous fees and licenses. So you would add all those items, and the land purchases, sales goes to treasury and extra donations section on the treasury tab of the spreadsheet. And you would just add it like I'm showing you here. And it's very easy to keep track of. Just as those things happen, then you just add it to the spreadsheet there. But you will need to use cheats to move that money over to the town treasury. So just make sure you are cognizant of that. But it's pretty simple. But that is how the town would add funds through taxes and other items to your town. And it would fund things like schools, libraries, parks, stuff like that. Next question. If the sim marries a resident and this resident who previously had his own house moves in with him after marriage, what happens to his current house and what does the issue of fees for the city look like? So if you have two sims that you're playing that are both founders and they get married, what happens to that house, right? So when you get married, you would do like you normally do. You would move in the sim, sell their house, sell all their items. If you want to do that, you could keep the items too if you want to keep the items. But you would do that, and that sim would move into whosever house they like. And then as far as picking whatever house, I would just pick probably whatever house is the most valuable. I think that's what you would do in real life, right? You would move into whoever had the nicer house. So you would move in there. And then as far as fees for the city, you can go back to the spreadsheet. I just went over that. So you can incorporate any of those things into the city. And then whenever you have a new create a sim move to your town, then they can purchase that house and live in there. I'm curious, while one sim is the mayor, what can the other starting sims do? Are they waiting for other careers to unlock? Yeah, so your starting sims would each have their own businesses that they would run. So, and that's up to you, whatever business that you would like them to do, whatever business that your town needs, you're going to move those sims in to run those businesses. So that's up to you. I might be reading it wrong, but the town treasury needs to be 500,000 simoleons per world before Sims can own businesses there or live there. But how do you reach the 500,000 simoleons without living in that world? So your starting world is free. So your starting city is free. So like Willow Creek is my starting world, and that was free. But if I expand into New Crest next, then I would need to have 500,000 simoleons to start New Crest. And if I start to run out of lots, I need to add more Sims, then I can go into debt to purchase the other world. But that's a big price tag, and that'll take a while to pay off. So you can go ahead and do that if you'd like to. Do you usually place other lots down, such as bars, gyms, etc., or do you do that with the treasury? Yeah, so any of those kind of lots, your bars, your gyms, those would be owned by the playable sims that are moving into your town. So if I go back to my world that I've been playing with, I have someone that owns a winery, which is basically a bar. So that's owned by a sim. I have someone who owns a gym that's owned by a sim. And then any of the municipal buildings or any of like the town buildings, so things like libraries, parks, the town hall, those are owned by the town. So those you would use town funds for. But everything else, it's the sim that you're playing with, they need to raise the funds to build those lots. Do you include the sims that are from the businesses in your rotation, or do you only rotate with the founders? So take my world that I'm playing with now. I have the mayor, I have a farmer, I have an electronics store owner, and I have a bakery owner. Those are my four starting sims. And then if I want to add a new sim, let's say I want someone to open a bar next, then I would have to play them and they would be added to my rotation. And those sims are what I call settlers. So all my original sims are founders, and then everybody else I call settlers too. So you'll start hearing that once we kind of get into adding those sims into the rotation. If the founder sims are a couple and each own a business, how do you manage that in game? So in my game, if I have two founder sims and they own businesses, I basically manage that. I will have one person run a business one day and have the other sim run a business the other day. So let's say the mayor and Kenji get married in my current save. The mayor will run the town hall Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then Kenji would run his business Tuesday and Thursday. So that's how I would manage it in game. You just take turns running each business. So the last question is the mayor paying taxes as well? So the mayor does not pay taxes. So I do this way because the mayor is the one that's managing all the funds. A lot of what she earns at the business, the town hall, goes back to the town. So because of that, I do not have the mayor pay taxes. So let me go into my town hall to show you what I mean. So here I am in my town hall. The town hall has been open for several hours, so I'm going to go ahead and close it down for today. Okay, and then this is how much money we made today. We made 8,146 simoleons. So now I am going to split this money in half. So once I start earning enough money, this is what I do. I split the money into half. So half will go into her household funds and the other half will go into the town treasury. So I want to really build this up. I want to build the town up. So a lot of the money that the town hall makes will go back to the town and the rest will go to her salary. And I only do this once I get the town hall built up enough to where I'm happy with it. But before then, I would just have most of the money go to the town treasury, but then have enough, that she can live on and she can pay bills and stuff like that. So it is important when you play with a mayor to make sure they marry well and they marry someone who has a nice income. So that is a tip for you. But let me go in and show you what I do. The mayor made 8,146, and then I'm just gonna divide that in half. So half of that is 4,073 simoleons. So I'm gonna click out of there, pause it, and then I'm going to transfer with the S&B bills mod. I am going to transfer half of that, the 4,073 simoleons, into the town treasury, and then the rest will stay in the household funds. So I'm going to click on phone, go to the S&B bank mod, transfer money from the household funds to the town treasury. And the amount is going to be 4,073 simoleons. And then you click submit. And then that money goes into the town treasury to work on building up the town. So that is what I do with the mayor. No, the mayor doesn't pay taxes, but a large part of the mayor's salary does go back to the town. So hopefully that clears it up. All right, guys, so this wasn't asked, but I do want to talk about aging. I thought of this topic as I was going over the go to school mod, but I do want to talk about aging your playable sims as well as your townies. I don't think that's something I've discussed before. But here, if you go in the options menu, click game options, and then you go into gameplay. So this is how I age my playable sims. So I have it checked to only active household. So that will just age up the sims that you are actively playing. So if I'm playing my mayor, it'll age up her family, and it won't age up the other families that I have in my game. So you want to make sure you have this set up. Another thing I do is on the last round of my rotation, I add auto age unplayed houses, and I check that. So that will age up all your townies. And I only do this on the last round with the last family on the last round. So I just do that so that all the townies ages kind of keep up with your sims that you're playing. So your kids can grow up together, your teenagers can grow up together, your adults can grow up together, all those sims can kind of grow up together. So that is how I play it. Let me know if you have questions, but hopefully that should be really clear. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me in today's Q&A on rotational gameplay. Hopefully I answered a lot of your questions. If you are late to this video and didn't have time to submit a question and have some more questions that came up after watching this video or just after watching other videos, make sure you leave a comment and I'll be sure to answer it. I'm pretty good at answering you guys' questions. So don't feel shy, just go ahead and leave a comment and I will be more than happy to help. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel out. It helps get this video out into the algorithm. So thank you guys so much. And until next time, bye.